Have you ever bitten into something delicious, only to wonder later, wait, is this safe? You'd be surprised. Sometimes the most unsuspected foods harbor hidden dangers.
In Korea, octopus is considered a delicious treat. They eat it alive.
According to the World Health Organization, a staggering 1 in 10 people get sick each year from contaminated food. Ready to navigate this culinary minefield? Stay tuned, because we are going to unveil 20 dangerous foods that can kill you. So, without any further delay, let's get into it. Number 20. Absinthe. Absinthe is a drink with a captivating emerald hue and boasts a history as rich and dramatic as its color. Invented by the Swiss in the 18th century, this spirit is made using wormwood, along with anise, fennel, and other botanicals traditionally used for medicinal purposes. Its affordability quickly propelled it across the border to France, where it became a favorite among famous artists like Vincent van Gogh, Pablo Picasso, and Ernest Hemingway. However, absinthe's popularity wasn't without controversy. Whispers began to circulate about the drink's supposed hallucinogenic properties. Studies have indeed shown thujone in high doses can cause health problems like seizures, kidney issues, muscle breakdown, and tremors. However, it's important to note that these effects were observed in studies using concentrated thujone extract, far exceeding the amount found in properly produced absinthe. Modern absinthe, when produced legally and following regulations, has minimal thujone content, making it no more dangerous than other high-alcohol spirits. The real danger lies in consuming unregulated or poorly made absinthe, where thujone levels might be unsafe. So, if you're curious to try this historic beverage, stick to reputable brands and sources to ensure a safe and perhaps even inspiring experience. Minus the hallucinations, of course. Number 19. Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath, a fearsome pepper that tips the Scoville scale at a staggering 2,480,000 Scoville heat units. To put that into perspective, a habanero pepper, known for its fiery kick, measures in at a measly 350,000 Scoville heat units. A jalapeno, a common grocery store staple, comes in at a paltry 8,000 Scoville heat units. The difference is astronomical. So what exactly makes these peppers so darn hot? The culprit is capsaicin, a chemical compound found in chili peppers. Capsaicin binds to receptors in our mouths and throats, triggering the burning sensation we associate with spicy food. In small amounts, it adds a pleasant kick, but in extreme concentrations, like those found in Dragon's Breath, capsaicin can cause more than just uncomfortable heat. It can lead to actual burns, restrict airways, make breathing difficult, and in rare cases, even trigger a severe allergic reaction known as anaphylactic shock. Yikes, that's right. While some may find the allure of conquering these fiery beasts irresistible, it's important to approach them with caution and a healthy respect for their power. Number 18. Echizen kurage. Echizen kurage is also known as Nomura's jellyfish. This behemoth, the world's largest jellyfish, might be tempting to try, but it packs a hidden punch. Nomura's jellyfish contain toxins called glycoalkaloids. If you ingest even a small amount, you might be in for a rough ride. Symptoms can range from uncomfortable stomach cramps and diarrhea to severe headaches. In the worst cases, improper preparation can lead to comas or even death. The problem emerges if it remains improper during preparation. Trained chefs can remove these toxins, making them a delicacy in some parts of Asia. However, the process is unforgiving. Any lingering toxins can wreak havoc on your digestive system and beyond. Consuming Echizen kurage, or Nomura's jellyfish, can lead to potential health risks if not properly prepared or cooked. Allergic reactions, digestive issues, poisoning, and contamination are among the problems individuals may face after ingestion. To mitigate these risks, it's crucial to source jellyfish from reputable suppliers, Ensure thorough processing and cooking, and be aware of any allergies or sensitivities to seafood. So, the next time you're looking for an adventurous bite, consider leaving the Nomura's jellyfish to the experts. Your stomach will thank you for it. Number 17. Elderberries. Not all pretty berries are safe to eat. Elderberries, for instance, can look like delicious blueberries, but they can cause big problems if you're not careful. Eating unripe or uncooked elderberries can lead to a nasty surprise: nausea, vomiting, and even severe diarrhea. The key to enjoying elderberries safely is to make sure they're fully ripe before eating them. Cooking them thoroughly is also essential. Cooking breaks down the things in elderberries that can make you sick. Just to be extra safe, avoid the stems and leaves of the elderberry plant altogether, since they can also cause problems. Elderberries contain cyanogenic glycosides, which can cause symptoms of cyanide poisoning if consumed in large quantities, or if the berries are not properly prepared. Eating unripe or raw elderberries can lead to symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Additionally, some individuals may be allergic to elderberries, experiencing symptoms such as itching, swelling, or difficulty breathing. Therefore, it's important to consume elderberries in moderation and ensure they are properly prepared, such as cooking them before consumption, to mitigate potential risks. Number 16. Farmed salmon. Farmed salmon is a popular seafood choice, but questions linger about its health impact. While all oily fish boasts heart-healthy omega-3 fatty acids, farmed salmon raises concerns. The Organic Consumers Association has gone so far as to label it a toxic junk food. Farmed salmon tends to be fattier than its wild-caught counterpart. This can be a disadvantage for those watching their calorie intake or fat consumption. Studies have shown that farmed salmon may contain higher levels of certain pollutants compared to wild salmon. These pollutants can include polychlorinated biphenyls, pesticides, and antibiotics used in aquaculture. While the long-term health effects of these contaminants in humans are still being studied, their presence is a cause for concern. Some research suggests that farmed salmon might have lower levels of certain omega-3 fatty acids compared to wild salmon. These omega-3s are essential for heart health and brain function. So, is farmed salmon completely off the menu? Not necessarily. If you enjoy salmon and include it in your diet, opting for wild-caught varieties might be a better choice to minimize potential health drawbacks. However, farmed salmon can still be a source of protein and omega-3s, so occasional consumption as part of a balanced diet may be acceptable. Number 15. Pink pork. Pork loin, tenderloin, and the ever-tempting pink pork pose a delicious dilemma. These cuts offer culinary delights, but concerns linger about their safety if not cooked properly. Consuming raw or undercooked pork can introduce you to unwelcome guests in the form of parasites. The most notorious culprit is a roundworm called Trichinella spiralis, which causes trichinosis. This nasty infection brings severe stomach cramps, vomiting, and even muscle pain. Another parasite to avoid is the pork tapeworm, Taenia solium. This unwelcome guest can take up residence in your intestines, causing discomfort and potentially leading to serious health complications if left untreated. Undercooked pork can also harbor the hepatitis E virus, which causes inflammation of the liver. Symptoms of hepatitis E can range from fatigue and nausea to jaundice and liver failure. To ensure the destruction of harmful pathogens, the United States Department of Agriculture recommends a minimum internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit for ground pork. For whole muscle cuts like pork loin and tenderloin, the United States Department of Agriculture recommends a slightly lower temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit. This allows for a hint of pink in the center, a preferred doneness for many. However, it's important to note that the United Kingdom's National Health Service advises cooking pork until it's completely cooked through, eliminating any potential risk of parasitic infection. However, prioritizing safety is paramount. Number 14. Raw sprouts. Sprouts like clover and mung beans, often seen as a healthy addition to meals, can harbor a hidden danger: bacteria. The warm, humid environment that's perfect for sprout growth unfortunately creates a breeding ground for harmful microbes like Escherichia coli. Sprouts have been unfortunately linked to several food-borne illness outbreaks in the past. One particularly devastating example was an Escherichia coli outbreak in Germany in the year 2011, which tragically resulted in the deaths of 29 people. These outbreaks highlight the serious consequences that consuming contaminated sprouts can have. The very way sprouts grow, with their dense clusters and intricate folds, makes it challenging to completely eliminate bacteria through washing alone. This is why cooking is essential to ensure they are safe to eat. Always cook raw sprouts thoroughly before eating them. Cooking destroys harmful bacteria, making them safe for consumption. Only consume prepackaged sprouts that are labeled ready to eat. These have likely been treated with methods to minimize bacterial contamination. Due to the heightened risk, young children, pregnant women, and people with weakened immune systems should avoid raw sprouts altogether. Number 13. Deli meats. Deli meats are loaded with fat, especially saturated fat. This can contribute to an increased risk of heart disease, a leading cause of death worldwide. Deli meats belong to the category of processed foods. Studies have shown that excessive consumption of processed foods is linked to an increased risk of chronic health problems such as type 2 diabetes and certain cancers. Some deli meats are cured using nitrites, a common preservative. While nitrites themselves are generally considered safe, there are concerns about their potential conversion into nitrosamines within the body. The World Health Organization classifies nitrosamines as probable carcinogens. Another danger with deli meats is the potential for bacterial contamination. Cooked meats can become contaminated with harmful bacteria like Listeria before or after packaging. For instance, in the year 2018, a major ham recall took place due to possible Listeria contamination, highlighting the seriousness of this issue. Listeriosis, the illness caused by Listeria bacteria, can be particularly dangerous for pregnant women, newborns, older adults, and people with weakened immune systems. When buying deli meats, choose reputable stores with high food safety standards. Look for shops that prioritize proper storage and handling procedures. Pay close attention to the ingredients list on the deli meat packaging. Choose varieties lower in fat and sodium, and consider those that are nitrate and nitrite-free. Store deli meats according to package instructions, typically at refrigerator temperatures. Don't leave them out at room temperature for extended periods, as this increases the risk of bacterial growth. While deli meats can be a part of a balanced diet, enjoy them in moderation. Explore alternative protein sources like grilled chicken, fish, or legumes to create variety and potentially reduce your overall intake of processed meats. Number 12. Wild mushrooms. Ever seen a movie where a character enjoys a delicious-looking wild mushroom only to meet a swift and unfortunate demise? While Hollywood might exaggerate the speed of the poisoning, the core message rings true. Never pick and eat wild mushrooms unless you are a trained expert. Mistaking a toxic mushroom for an edible one can lead to a range of unpleasant and potentially life-threatening consequences. Symptoms can include vomiting and stomach pain, but the damage can extend far beyond. Liver, kidney, and even heart damage are all possible outcomes of ingesting the wrong fungus. Don't rely on color alone to identify safe mushrooms. The aptly named death cap, for example, can sometimes have a bright red top that serves as a warning sign. However, this red cap can also be absent, causing the death cap to blend in with other harmless mushrooms, creating a dangerous situation for the untrained eye. The Western Pennsylvania Mushroom Club estimates a staggering number of mushroom species in North America, around 10,000. Of those, up to 100 are believed to be potentially lethal. With those odds, the risk of mistaking a delicious morsel for a deadly imposter is simply too high. When it comes to wild mushrooms, the potential consequences of a mistake are far too severe to take a chance. Leave the foraging to the experts and enjoy cultivated mushrooms from reputable sources. Your stomach, and potentially your life, will thank you for it. Number 11. Ackee. Ackee, a tropical fruit with a funny appearance and a pear-shaped body, belongs to the soapberry family. You might be more familiar with its relative, the lychee, but ackee comes with a critical difference. It must be fully ripe before you can safely eat it. Unlike other fruits where ripeness affects taste and texture, unripe ackee contains toxins that can literally be fatal. This is why the United States Food and Drug Administration has banned the import of raw fruit. For those curious about ackee's flavor, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is that consuming unripe ackee is incredibly dangerous. These unripe fruits contain high levels of hypoglycin, a substance that can cause Jamaican vomiting sickness. This illness brings severe vomiting, diarrhea, and a dangerous drop in blood sugar, hypoglycemia. In the most tragic cases, it can lead to coma and even death. A sobering example comes from a 2011 report by the Jamaica Observer, which documented an outbreak of ackee poisoning that resulted in 23 deaths and left 194 people sick in Jamaica. However, due to the potential dangers of unripe ackee, the United States Food and Drug Administration has prohibited the import of the raw fruit within the United States. Number 10. Blood clams. Blood clams, also known as cockles, hold a particular allure in Chinese cuisine. Boiled and enjoyed for their flavor, these shellfish can pose a significant health risk. These are often polluted waters where blood clams are harvested. This contaminated environment allows the clams to accumulate harmful viruses within their flesh. Ingesting these viruses can lead to a range of unpleasant and potentially serious illnesses. Hepatitis A, typhoid fever, and dysentery are all on the potential menu when consuming undercooked or contaminated blood clams. These illnesses can cause a variety of symptoms, including fever, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. In severe cases, they can even lead to death. A stark example of the dangers associated with blood clams comes from a 1988 incident in Shanghai. Following a large outbreak of hepatitis A linked to blood clam consumption, the city implemented a ban on the sale of these shellfish. The outbreak resulted in over 300,000 people becoming sick and, tragically, 31 deaths. Despite the known health risks and previous bans, blood clams continue to be sold in some Chinese food markets, including Shanghai. For those considering trying this delicacy, proceed with extreme caution. The potential consequences of consuming contaminated blood clams are simply too severe to ignore. Number 9. Cassava. Cassava, a starchy root vegetable popular in Africa and South America, can be a delicious and versatile addition to your diet. However, there's a crucial caveat. Cassava must be fully cooked and properly prepared before consumption. Enjoy it boiled, fried, baked, grilled, mashed, or steamed. These methods ensure the safety of this root vegetable. The danger lies in linamarin, a toxic compound naturally present in cassava. Linamarin is akin to cyanide in its toxicity, and consuming raw or improperly prepared cassava can lead to a serious health risk. Symptoms of linamarin poisoning can range from nausea and vomiting to dizziness and weakness. In severe cases, it can even cause coma or death. Linamarin isn't just a concern for cassava. It's also found in smaller amounts in flaxseed. While the levels in flaxseed are generally too low to cause severe illness, excessive consumption can lead to headaches, agitation, confusion, and difficulty breathing. This is yet another reason to consume flaxseed in moderation. So, you can enjoy cassava, but do so safely. Proper cooking methods render linamaran harmless, allowing you to reap the nutritional benefits of this delicious root vegetable without any risk. And when it comes to flaxseed, moderation is key to avoid any potential downsides. Number 8. Wild almonds. While the almonds lining supermarket shelves are sweet and delicious, their wild counterparts are a different story altogether. Wild almonds are actually seeds, not nuts, and they contain a significant amount of cyanide, a deadly toxin. Consuming just a handful of these bitter almonds can be fatal for a child, and adults aren't much safer. Research published in the academic journal International Scholarly Research Notices Toxicology estimates the lethal dose for adults to be around 50 bitter almonds. Thankfully, the almonds we typically consume are domesticated varieties. Through selective breeding over generations, the natural bitterness and cyanide content have been significantly reduced, resulting in the sweet almonds we know and love. It's important to note that even domesticated almonds can retain trace amounts of cyanide. However, these levels are generally safe for consumption. If you're ever unsure about the type of almond you have, it's best to avoid eating them raw. The processing methods used to commercially prepare almonds further reduce any remaining traces of cyanide. Number 7. Starfruit. Starfruit, with its vibrant yellow skin and distinctive star shape when sliced, is a visually striking tropical fruit. However, beneath its beautiful exterior lies a potential danger: caramboxin toxins. These toxins can be particularly harmful to individuals with kidney problems. In severe cases, caramboxin can cause seizures and even death. There's also the possibility of experiencing flu-like symptoms or feeling intoxicated after consuming starfruit. While some might find this intoxicating effect appealing, it's important to remember that it's a sign of the body struggling to process the toxins. The good news is that healthy individuals without pre-existing kidney conditions can generally enjoy starfruit in moderation. However, for those with kidney problems or concerns, it's best to avoid starfruit altogether. If you're unsure about your kidney health, consulting a doctor before consuming starfruit is advisable. Starfruit's beauty shouldn't be deceiving. Be aware of the potential risks associated with caramboxin toxins and enjoy this tropical treat responsibly. Number 6. Silver stripe blossop. The silver stripe blossop, a fish found in the Indian Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea, holds a deceptive allure. Prized as a delicacy in many coastal communities, this fish can pose a serious health threat if not prepared correctly. The danger lies within the silver stripe blossop itself. This fish carries a potent toxin within its liver, reproductive organs, and even its skin. Ingesting this toxin can lead to a range of severe symptoms, including difficulty breathing, circulation problems, and even paralysis. In a tragic incident documented in the year 2007, 10 deaths occurred in Egypt and Israel linked to the consumption of improperly prepared silver stripe blossop. This event highlights the seriousness of the potential consequences associated with this fish. While the silver stripe blossop may be a culinary tradition in some regions, it's crucial to be aware of the associated risks. If you choose to consume this fish, ensure it is prepared by someone with the knowledge and expertise to handle and cook it safely. It's also important to note that some regions, recognizing the potential dangers, have issued warnings against consuming silver stripe blossop altogether. Approach the silver stripe blossop with caution. Be aware of the risks and prioritize your safety when considering consuming this potentially dangerous fish. The concept of eating live octopus, a dish popular in some parts of Korea, might raise eyebrows for those unfamiliar with the practice. Here's the thing. While the octopus itself is certainly not alive when served, there's a key detail that contributes to the dish's unusual nature. The recently killed octopus retains some reflex activity in its tentacles, particularly in the suction cups. These suction cups can still cling and grasp even after the animal's death. This is what creates the sensation of eating live octopus. The tentacles may writhe and stick to the diner's tongue or throat as they are chewed. The potential dangers of this practice were highlighted by a now famous and graphic video of a YouTuber in China attempting to eat a live octopus. While she managed to free herself in the end, the experience underscored the risk of choking. Safety officials warn that the suction cups of a recently killed octopus can latch onto the tongue during swallowing, potentially leading to a dangerous situation. So, why do some people enjoy this dish despite the potential discomfort and risk? The answer likely lies in a combination of cultural tradition and the novelty of the experience. However, it's important to be aware of the downsides before considering trying this unusual culinary adventure. Live octopus might be a cultural delicacy, but it's not without its drawbacks. Be mindful of the potential choking hazard and approach this dish with caution. Number 5. Raw cashews. Cashews, a popular nut enjoyed for their creamy texture and nutty flavor, come with a surprising caveat: they're not actually nuts at all. Cashews are technically the seeds of a tropical fruit that grows on cashew trees. While the processed cashews readily available in stores are perfectly safe to enjoy, there's a hidden danger lurking in their raw form. Raw cashews contain a substance called urushiol. This same chemical is also present in poison ivy, and it's the culprit behind the itchy rashes and swelling associated with that plant. When consumed, urushiol can be even more dangerous, with the potential to be fatal. The good news is that the cashews you find on supermarket shelves have been your savior. These commercially available cashews undergo a steaming process that effectively removes the harmful urushiol, rendering them safe for consumption. The danger zone lies with raw, unprocessed cashews. These cashews can cause a severe allergic reaction in anyone who consumes them, regardless of whether they have a diagnosed nut allergy. Symptoms can range from skin irritation and swelling to more serious complications. So, enjoy your cashews, but stick to the store-bought, processed varieties. Leave the raw cashews to the professionals and avoid any potential health risks associated with urushiol. Number 4. Larb. Larb, also known as laab, is a beloved dish in Laos, and for good reason. This vibrant salad features raw meat as its centerpiece, typically mixed with chilies, herbs, and other flavorful ingredients. While undeniably delicious, larb also comes with a significant downside: the risks associated with consuming raw meat. The biggest concern lies in the unknown. Since larb can incorporate various types of meat at the cook's discretion, there's no guarantee about the origin or hygiene of the ingredients. This lack of control has led to outbreaks of serious illnesses in recent years. One example comes from Thailand in the year 2019, where larb made with raw wild boar meat caused a deadly outbreak of Streptococcus suis infection. Tragically, this incident resulted in over 24 deaths. A similar story unfolded in California in the year 2016, where a group of people became sick with trichinosis after consuming raw wild boar larb. Symptoms like abdominal pain, vomiting, and diarrhea plagued the victims, all stemming from microscopic worms present in the undercooked meat. These are just a few examples, but they highlight the potential dangers of consuming raw meat in any dish, including larb. Another significant risk is rabies, a deadly viral infection that can be transmitted through the meat of rabid animals. While larb can be a delicious culinary adventure, be aware of the associated health risks. If you're unsure about the source or handling of the ingredients, It's best to err on the side of caution and avoid consuming raw meat dishes like larb. Number 3. Nutmeg. Nutmeg is a versatile spice that adds a warm, slightly sweet touch to many dishes. From sprinkling it over mac and cheese to incorporating it into gnocchi dough or mulled wine, nutmeg enhances the flavor profile of various recipes. Using nutmeg in these typical culinary applications is unlikely to cause any side effects. It will simply make your food even more delicious. However, it's important to remember that nutmeg can have a darker side. While it's perfectly safe in small amounts, consuming large doses of nutmeg can lead to myristicin poisoning. Myristicin is a compound found in nutmeg, and excessive intake can trigger unpleasant and potentially dangerous symptoms. Headaches, nausea, dizziness, and hallucinations are all telltale signs of myristicin poisoning. In rare and extreme cases, it can even be fatal. This is why moderation is key when using nutmeg. A teeny pinch or light grating is all you need to reap the flavor benefits of this spice without introducing any health risks. Enjoy nutmeg as a delightful addition to your favorite recipes, but remember, a little goes a long way. Stick to recommended amounts and savor the taste of nutmeg without any worries. Number 2. Greenland Shark. Greenland sharks are undeniably fascinating creatures. They boast lifespans reaching up to 500 years. However, there's a surprising downside to these seemingly ancient giants. Most of them are blind. This blindness is caused by parasites clinging to their eyes. While Greenland sharks might be intriguing, there's a crucial warning to consider before you think about trying them on a plate. Improperly prepared Greenland shark meat can be hazardous. The meat contains toxins that can lead to illness, dizziness, and even falling over if consumed. Thankfully, there's a safe way to enjoy Greenland shark, if you're adventurous enough. In Iceland, fermented Greenland shark meat, known as hakarl, is a national dish. Reputable shops in Iceland sell this fermented delicacy. However, be prepared for an unique taste experience. The late Anthony Bourdain famously declared hakarl to be the single worst, most disgusting and terrible tasting thing he had ever eaten. Number 1. Fesich. Fesich, a fermented fish dish, is a traditional part of the Shem El Nessim spring festival celebrations in Egypt. However, this celebratory food can sometimes take a dangerous turn. Each year, many people find themselves hospitalized after consuming fesich. The culprit behind these illnesses lies in the fermentation process itself. Fesich is prepared by drying fish in the sun and then salting it for a year. While fermentation can enhance the flavor of food, if not done correctly, it can also create a breeding ground for harmful bacteria. In the case of fesich, this bacteria is Clostridium botulinum. Consuming fesich contaminated with Clostridium botulinum can lead to botulism, a serious illness that causes paralysis. Botulism symptoms typically begin in the face and gradually spread throughout the body. Paralysis of the lungs is a particularly dangerous complication as it can lead to respiratory failure and death. The enjoyment of fesich shouldn't come at the cost of your health. If you're considering trying fesich, it's crucial to ensure it has been prepared properly to minimize the risk of botulism contamination. Purchasing fesich from reputable sources and inquiring about safe preparation methods can help you avoid a potentially devastating outcome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.